Welcome back to MVP Auto 0008. We're diving into a machine that has somehow managed to stay both timeless and brand new at the same time, the 2026 Suzuki DR650S. This bike has a legacy stretching back decades, and yet, each time Suzuki touches it, the DR seems to evolve just enough to stay relevant without losing the rugged old-school charm that made it legendary. And with the 2026 model, Suzuki has done something interesting. Instead of reinventing the wheel, they refined it, quietly, carefully, but meaningfully. So let's talk about why the DR650S remains one of the most beloved dual sports out there and what this newest version means for riders who want simplicity, reliability, and adventure without drama. When people think dual sport motorcycles, they usually picture one of two extremes: the aggressive, high-tech, race-inspired machines that cost a fortune, or the ultra-simple workhorses that just keep going no matter what you throw at them. The DR650S has always lived in that second category: reliable, durable, and easy to work on. But Suzuki knew that with increasing regulations, safety expectations, and rider demands, the DR needed a refresh. So the 2026 version keeps the same spirit but brings updates that make it smoother, cleaner, and easier to live with day to day. At the core of the 2026 DR650S is its classic 644cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine. But don't let the old-school architecture fool you. Suzuki has revised internal components, updated the fuel delivery, and made subtle changes to reduce vibration without robbing the bike of its character. The throttle response feels noticeably more controlled, especially off-idle, making slow-speed maneuvering on trails or tight streets easier and less jerky. And thanks to updates in fuel efficiency and emissions, the engine runs cleaner while still delivering that signature DR torque that comes on early and confidently. One of the big concerns riders had over the years was heat management, especially in slow off-road sections. Suzuki tackled that for 2026 by redesigning the airflow around the cylinder and adding a more efficient oil cooling system. It's still air-cooled, meaning fewer parts to break, but it's better at dealing with harsher riding environments. You can crawl through technical trails or grind through hot city traffic without feeling like the engine is being tortured. Now, torque has always been the DR's strong suit, and the 2026 version stays true to that identity. You're not going to win a drag race, but what you get is usable power, power you can feel immediately, power that helps you climb steep hills without constantly shifting, power that turns tricky terrain into enjoyable challenges instead of stressful ones. And perhaps more importantly, this engine remains absurdly reliable. Suzuki is famous for building engines that last decades, and the DR is one of the best examples of that. Owners ride these things across deserts, mountains, and continents, and they just keep going. Another key part of the 2026 DR650S experience is the chassis. Suzuki didn't overhaul the frame, because they didn't need to. Instead, they refined it. The steel frame remains strong, flexible enough for off-road use, and predictable. Suzuki updated the suspension tuning to offer a slightly more progressive feel. It's still not a high-end enduro setup, but it's better balanced for real-world riding. The front fork absorbs bumps more smoothly, and the rear shock provides better control under load. That means the bike feels more stable at higher speeds, especially on gravel or light trails. What makes the DR650S so appealing is its versatility. You can take it on the highway, hit the dirt, commute through traffic, or load it up for camping trips. It's not the most powerful highway bike, but the 2026 model benefits from slightly improved gearing and smoother engine dynamics, making long stretches at 100 km/h or 65 mph more comfortable. You still get some vibration, it's a big single, after all, but it's less intrusive, and the seat padding has been updated to help reduce fatigue. Speaking of comfort, Suzuki redesigned the seat foam and cover for 2026. The new material has a better mix of softness and support, meaning you can ride longer without feeling like you've been sitting on a brick. The riding position remains upright, natural, and welcoming to riders of different sizes. The handlebars are slightly wider for better leverage, which helps off-road, and the foot pegs have improved grip for wet or muddy situations. One of the things DR650 riders always modded immediately was the lighting, but Suzuki finally modernized this area. The 2026 model includes a brighter LED headlight with a cleaner beam pattern and reduced power draw. It doesn't turn night into day like the expensive ADV bikes do, but it's a big upgrade over older halogen setups. The taillight and indicators are LED as well, giving the bike a more modern touch without looking out of place. Another subtle but welcome improvement is the new digital analog hybrid display. Riders get a traditional analog tachometer, which feels right for a bike with this personality, paired with a compact digital screen that shows speed, fuel level, trip info, and basic diagnostics. It's simple, but it works, and it keeps the bike from feeling dated. Now let's talk about weight. One of the DR650S's best traits has always been its simplicity and surprisingly manageable weight, especially in the dual sport world. The 2026 model stays right in that sweet spot. It doesn't add unnecessary tech, traction control menus, or complicated electronics that would increase weight or complexity. And this is a big part of its charm. You get a bike you can drop, pick back up, and keep riding without worrying about fragile sensors or expensive repairs. For many adventure riders, that peace of mind is worth more than any fancy gadget. Suzuki also gave attention to durability this year. The plastics are slightly more impact resistant, the paint quality has improved, and the wiring harness has been rerouted to offer better protection from debris and water. The airbox has been redesigned with better sealing, which is great news for riders who like tackling river crossings or muddy trails. And with more accessible service points, working on the bike is easier than ever. Oil changes, valve checks, and general maintenance feel like they were designed with real riders in mind. On the road, the DR650S still provides that charming dual sport experience, stable, nimble, and surprisingly smooth. Off-road, it's predictable and capable, especially in the hands of riders who appreciate finesse over brute force. It's not a modern enduro machine, it won't replace a race bike. But it has a personality that's becoming rare, a kind of rugged honesty that makes every ride feel satisfying. The 2026 DR650S also benefits from a wide range of aftermarket support. That means you can customize this bike into almost anything you want. Want a lightweight trail machine? Swap the tires, adjust the gearing, and you're ready. Want a mini adventure bike? Add a better windscreen, luggage racks, and a tank bag. Want a street-focused commuter? Throw on 80/20ths tires and enjoy the daily ride. Suzuki kept the bike simple on purpose so riders could shape it to match their needs, and that philosophy still holds true today. What's really special about the DR650S is its connection to the riding community. You don't just buy this bike, you join a family of riders who appreciate simplicity, durability, and real-world performance. The DR has been a traveler's favorite for years, and the 2026 version continues that tradition with subtle improvements that make long journeys easier and more enjoyable. It's a bike you can trust anywhere, whether you're exploring backroads near home or planning a multi-day adventure far from pavement. And here's the interesting part. The DR650S thrives in a world where motorcycles are becoming increasingly complex. Many modern bikes overwhelm new riders with tech. The DR650S goes in the opposite direction. It offers confidence not through electronics, but through consistency. It teaches you how to ride, how to feel the terrain, how to learn and grow as a motorcyclist. It rewards skill rather than buttons. And for many riders, that's the essence of motorcycling itself. In a way, the 2026 DR650S represents a philosophy that's becoming rare in the industry. The belief that a motorcycle should be simple, tough, and enjoyable without forcing you into a particular riding style or locking you behind layers of menus and sensors. It's a bike built for people who want adventure on their terms, without worrying about whether a computer will interfere or fail. And that, more than anything, is why the DR endures. So if you're thinking about a bike that can take you just about anywhere, that you can maintain yourself, that doesn't break the bank, and that brings a smile every time you twist the throttle. The 2026 Suzuki DR650S deserves a serious look. It's not flashy. It's not trying to impress you with numbers. It's simply a great motorcycle, one that feels alive, one that feels connected to the road, the trail, and the rider. Thanks for watching MVP Auto 0008. If you enjoyed this deep look at the 2026 DR650S, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what bike you want to see next. Ride safe, and I'll see you in the next video.